I have to tell this story. Okay, all right. So, sir, damn bug landed on my hand while I was telling the story. All right. So I worked at Spaulding Sports, and this was back in the late '90s. And the reason why that I had got this job is because the guy before me went in the machine and lost both his hands. It was a very dangerous, it was a very dangerous job. So I'm working this job, and the job kind of sucked. They ended up moving me to a chemical compounder, which would mean that I would go in the very, very top of where the mixers were and mix all the powder and the rubber and the color and everything like that, and mix the master batches of rubber. And the rubber would be used to make golf balls. So the place used a lot of dust, and a lot of the dust came from the powder that they used to make the rubber. And dust is super, super, super flammable. And some of the dust that was there, it was like an oxidizer. So when you had to have a ground, you put the strap on your leg, this thing underneath your shoe, and it basically grounds you out. So you're not generating static electricity while you touch it, because it would fucking explode. So we had this special fork truck, and the front of the fork truck had this little frame, and the frame was used to pick these 2,000-pound bags up like 40 feet in the air. And all right, so anyway, after a while, driving a fork truck, you get pretty good at what you do, and you could do things pretty quickly. And I was in a fork truck on one side of this giant building, and I needed to get on the other side. And it was a newer fork truck, and I would just throw it in reverse and punch it, and I would just drive the thing in reverse all the way back to where I had to go and start over. And as I was backing up, again, this is full throttle, as I was backing up, one of the things that you have to remember is you never keep your hands on the levers, especially while you're driving. And I had my hand on one of the levers that raised the forks. So here I am in reverse, just about to get full throttle, full speed, and my forks were going up, and I didn't know it. And as I was backing up, my forks were high enough to where I hit a steel girder that was going across the entire building, like a structural support girder. And the noise that it made sounded like the place exploded. And then immediately the place was filled with dust, and on the girder must have been like a junction box, like an electrical junction box. So the initial impact rattled my skull, and as I was kind of thrown off of the fork truck, it was tipping over. And I don't know if you know how heavy fork trucks are. They're like thousands and thousands of pounds. So if one was to tip over, there's no way that I would have stopped it from tipping all the way over. But for some reason, I had my hands on the thing. And the whole time I had my hands on the thing, I'm looking at this giant blue sun from where the junction box had been ripped off the girder, and is now now the potential of blowing all of us up and killing everybody in that building was a huge possibility. All the dust came down from the rafters in the entire building. Within like 30 seconds, everybody from downstairs came running up. And there's me sitting on the floor like, hey, you guys, what's happening? I'm sorry, I just accidentally killed everybody. I'm wicked sorry about that. Nothing to see here. Everybody can go back to work. It was killed everybody. That place would have exploded like Yan Foundry. I don't know if you guys remember what Yan Foundry was. Yan Foundry exploded and killed a bunch of people from aluminum dust. All right, so that's my story. I had to remember it. I had to tell it while it was fresh in my head. I think that's life story 11. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys.